Hello, everybody. Welcome to my channel and Blind Anticipates. So today is another Jennifer L. Armentrout Blind Anticipates video where I'm going to be talking about A Fire in the Flesh, the third and final book in the Flesh and Fire series. So before we start, I should mention Flesh and Fire and Blood and Ash will be linked in the description, so you can check out those playlists. But I will not spoil my video. It's long as it is, as I'm talking about my thoughts. So I'm actually pretty excited to let you know to see what you think in the comment section about my predictions. But there they are. But before we start, consider subscribing to my channel if you enjoy my content. Also, turning on notifications so you're aware of these videos. Usually about 3 to 4 times a week. So yeah, you have a lot of content waiting. So yeah, consider subscribing if you enjoy my content. Also, consider checking out my writing. So I have a blog, always linked in my description. That is something that you can check out. Or you can pre-order my book. Daughter of Death is the first volume in the Child of Death series. It's a fantasy series which follows Vivian, who, after 8 years of not being discovered, is finally discovered by the mortal realm. And she is a half-deity, the daughter of a ruler of the dead and a mortal woman. And now this unusual family has to adjust to this new change. So if you are interested in this premise and want to give my book a chance, you can find it in Apple, Barnes and Noble, Kobo, and Smashwords. So you can find those. Currently, it's not on Amazon, but hopefully it will be there soon. Once Smashwords has access, it'll be there. It'll be distributed there as well. But if you want to read my book early, I am currently running a pre-sale only available on Smashwords because that's where I published it. So it is currently available there. So if you want to check that, you can read it early, and the pre-sale will be available until the release date, December 26, 2023. So you can do that. And if you are interested in the book, you can find it in all the retailers for 99 cents. So definitely consider buying it if you're up for it. Also, if you participate in the pre-sale and you have the option and time to do so, please consider writing a review of my book. Reviewers are very helpful to authors. So if you are able to have the time and option to do so, please consider leaving a review. Thank you so much and enjoy the video. So this book does not have a description out right now. It does not. But I still want to talk about the book because I don't know if any of this will happen, but even if it doesn't, it's totally fine. I just want to talk about the things I think could happen and talk about how this would basically be set up, I guess. I don't know if I'm making any sense, but I want to talk about some predictions I have when it comes to this book, and what I think would happen based on everything I remember from from everything I've read, like basically everything I've read from Blood and Ash, but also from just Flesh and Fire. So from what I remember of everything I read, I kind of just want to talk about things I am predicting personally and things I think could happen. And I hope happen because it'll be so much fun to see this stuff kind of um happening. I don't know. I feel like it would be really interesting, and it'll give some interesting developments. Of course, I could be wrong. I think Jennifer L. Armentrout is really good at twists and turns, and you never know. I feel like you never really know what to expect. She's kind of like Sarah J. Maas in that way. Um, so the only thing that the synopsis says is from number one New York Times bestselling author Jennifer L. Armentrout comes book 3 in her Flesh and Fire series. The last book in her Flesh and Fire series. That's all it says. Oh, and the release date of December 12th, 2023. So, let's see. So, spoilers, just spoilers. So, we end the book we end the book with Sarah agreeing to go to to Colus's court in order for people not to get hurt, right? So we end everything with her agreeing to do that because they find out at the end that the only way that Niktos can get the embers back is if he basically takes Sarah's blood and kills her because the embers have merged with her. If they hadn't merged with her, it would have been probably a lot easier without killing her. But since they have, the only way to do that is basically to drain her blood and just take the embers. And she ends up eventually when they arrive, there is an attack in the in their home, and she gets threatened that if she doesn't come with them, that it will basically the place will be I don't know, they'll continue attacking. But if she comes, the attack will stop. And she does agree to go. In the beginning of the story, if you remember from my reactions of the first 5 chapters, she was charmed, but since she willingly left, the charm basically disappears. And we find her there, and we discover that there is more to the prophecy, which I think is going to be really interesting, especially considering that in the War of Two Queens, we got the original prophecy, not the full prophecy. We got like the original prophecy that Sarah first knows in the beginning. But we find out in this book that there is more to the prophecy. But in the War of Two Queens, Tawny only delivers the prophecy that we see in the first in a light in the flame. In a shadow in the ember. That is the one prophecy she reveals, and that is the only prophecy that Poppy knows in the War of Two Queens. But we find out that there's more. So I think there is definitely potential for other things to happen in the Primal of Blood and Bone, which is not coming out yet, but it is the 5th book, or the current title for the 5th book in the Blood and Ash series. So yeah, that is one of those things that I think we the more that could happen, right? So we find that out. We also find out how that he always knew about Sarah and the deal that was made. Originally, they thought that he didn't. We find out that he does know about it. We also find out that her dad did try to protect her so that she would not have to follow through with the deal, but instead of summoning the primal who he originally made the deal with, he ended up summoning Kolis. That's how he found out, and that's how her father died. And he is about to take her blood by the end, so he can take the embers and be a complete primal of life and basically take over the world. Because of course he will. He wants to rule and have everybody kind of how it used to be, where they were like under the primals and all that stuff. So there are things that he finds out because he finds out that that Sarah is the reincarnation of Zutoria, which I find really interesting because the way she finds out is because he's literally taking her blood, and you just have her going, "You're killing me again." And by the way, this is so much better when you listen to it in audio. The narrator, Stina Nielsen, wonderful. I would listen to this book in audio, and just for that line, and he realizes like, what are you talking about? And she tells him who she is. Something that in the beginning was actually foreshadowed in the beginning of the book, because Poppy had planned maybe telling him that who she was, because since she found out she was Zutoria, she's like, okay, the things that they taught her were correct. She was his weakness, but not Nyctos's. Kolis' weakness, because she was Zutoria. So one of the things she was originally planning to do in the beginning of the book was actually go to his court and use that in order to defeat him and stuff like that. So now that he knows, he's not taking her blood. He actually literally cradles her at the end of it, which suggests that he really did fall in love with Zutoria, even if it was in obsessive love. So I don't know I don't know. Your thoughts? Let me know in the comment section. So my predictions for book 3. She also seemed to like devolve into a dream, I think, at the end. I'm not too sure. I think I may have misinterpreted this part, but there is a part where she realizes the white wolf that she saw, I think, in her dreams when she was like swimming in the book was Ash. So, aka Nyctos. So that is amazing. So what do I think book 3 will bring? I did make it do an overview on my 1 hour and 16-minute review of A Light in the Flame Flesh and Fire playlist linked below. For my one hell of a review. It is full, and by the way, just so you know, that review is full of spoilers. If you think you can get away with, it's very rare for you to get away with no spoilers if you're gonna record a video of 1 hour and 16 minutes, or like two hours or so. I think I got away with it a little bit more in the Kiss Quotient, because I wasn't spoiling, I was explaining a couple of things. I did do some like a broad spoiler here, I think, somewhere, but I definitely know that it's unlikely that you can get away with those spoilers without spoilers that time. So it is full of spoilers everywhere. And one of the things that I mentioned, I did give an overview at the end of what I think will happen, but let's talk about how I think it's gonna go and stuff like that. So definitely I foresee more twists and turns in the story. So maybe I feel like Sarah is gonna find out more things, and now that she's in Kolis' court, we're definitely going to find out how they live, even though we have an idea of what happens to people. I think she might be able to help some chosen ones, definitely. I also think that she maybe this is a little too much, but she might find a way to communicate with Zutoria. And the reason I say this is because she mentioned in the book, she is very adamant in a light in the flame, that she is not Zutoria, that she is herself, right? She's a reincarnation of her, but she's not Zutoria. She's very adamant about that. And there's a scene in A Light in the Flame where she feels rage. Like, she gets really mad. And she recognizes these are not my feelings of rage. Like, this rage is not mine. And even Niktos or Ash kind of recognized, like, hey, I felt this rage, but it's like it wasn't coming from you. And she said, I think that's Zutoria. And she had said somewhere in the book that it's possible that she has two souls, because I guess she doesn't feel like Zutoria and stuff like that. Like, I think she mentioned the possibility of having two souls. And Niktos was like, yeah, you might be right. You actually might have two souls. So I feel like it's possible that since Zutoria seemingly did take over her body a little bit, because if so originally, yeah, you have like the reincarnations, right? But in this end, if you have two souls in a body, not one, it suggests that Sarah is not necessarily a reincarnation, but a vessel for Zutoria to exist. Right? That's what it suggests to me, that she is a vessel more than anything else. A vessel for Zutoria's soul to be in. So because of that, I feel like it's going to be like they can probably find a way to communicate. And Zutoria is definitely gonna want some vengeance, because that dude ruined her life. He scared her so much she jumped off a cliff. And then he brought her back to life after she passed through the veil, and she was happy. And she was fine. Like, she was content with the life she lived, and she was just happy to pass through the veil. And he brought her back to life, and she was not the same. So in order not to be touched, Ash's dad and Keela, the Primal of Rebirth, basically made her be reborn every time into reincarnation, so that he wouldn't touch her, so that Kolis wouldn't touch her soul. That woman's gonna want some vengeance, and I feel like she would. Like, she, like that rage that she felt in that one scene, I feel like it's gonna come back, and Sarah is probably gonna help her, because she also wants some vengeance, considering that he ruined she loves Ash, first of all, and she loves Ash, and he is the cause for the realms like deteriorating and her kingdom going through a rot. Like, he is the cause of that. She's gonna want to stop him at all points in time. So I do think that they're gonna find a way to communicate and team up. And he thinks of her as Zutoria, I feel like Cole is gonna be referring to her mainly as Zutoria, and she'll probably try to gain his trust. I don't think she'll try to seduce him, because she did it in the beginning. She didn't even want to do that to Ash. She kind of just was going to do it for her kingdom. But I don't think she's going to do that. I think the simple fact that she's Zutoria is going to be what's going to help her. Or that she's a reincarnation of Zutoria to, what's his name? For this dude, Kolis. I think that's what's going to be enough for him, right? That simple fact. Then, so I think she's gonna eventually gain his trust, and meanwhile she's going to be either sowing some doubt, or just basically destroying him from the inside, at least till halfway through the book. Another thing is that in the Crown of Gilded Bones, there are female Draken who it seems might be bonded. I don't remember if this was clarified or not, but they might actually be bonded to Sarah, the female Drakens. And it seems like a lot of them also even come from like, they might, I don't know if any of them, if all of them come from like different courts, different of the nine like the different courts, or if they all come from like Kolis's court. I'm not sure, but it is very possible that she might be able to befriend the Draken there, and even she might be able to help, because she is already kind of like bringing life to things as she is the primal of life. She is bringing life to things. Like, there was a point where Nectus's eyes changed to blue. Apparently, from what I remember, it looks like the original color of the Draken eyes are blue. So it's very, 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 very possible that she would start bringing life to them. I also think Colas will try to convince her as well to rule beside him and stuff, but she's not going to want to do that. I think I also feel like he may not keep her necessarily in a cage like he did his favorites, but I do think that if she doesn't act according to what he thinks, he will put her there almost like punishment, which will definitely traumatize her. And maybe even bring her anxiety back up. Meanwhile, we're going to have, I predict we're going to have her point of view along with Ash's point of view. And there is going to be a war. I definitely know that. He will go to war for her. I know that for sure. He will go to war for her, and he'll be able to gain some support. I feel like he'll definitely be able to gain some support. And at home, he's probably going to be kind of struggling because he definitely cares for her a lot. And one of the things that I love about this, about A Light in the Flame, is there's a scene where he says, I wish I could love. I guess because, they've been kind of showing a lot of affection to each other, not just physical pleasure, right? But they've definitely been showing affection toward each other. He's like, I wish I could love. And in my reactions, I outright said, I'm pretty sure he can love. Even if his cardia is destroyed, I'm pretty sure it could either grow back, or not necessarily be back, or somehow be reborn back. Because he definitely cares about people. And Ash cares to an extent, which is lovely. You can totally tell he is a very caring and kind person, and you can tell it to how much he cares. Like with Jadis, with Reaver, definitely with Sarah. But with Jade, it's really adorable because they're when they were about to leave for Colas's court, and she basically says night night and hugs him and stuff like that. She's like, I think Sarah says something along the lines of like, I can tell he really cares and he's really upset and really sad or whatever. And it'll be really interesting. I think one of the things we're definitely going to see, I think, more scenes with Nectus and Jadis and Reaver. Jadis actually might try to cheer him up, which is going to be cute if it happens. I think it'll be adorable if she tries to cheer him up, especially considering how much he spoils her. It's adorable. I don't know, it's just cute. Jade in general is cute. So that's like the things. I do think there's going to be a war. We're going to have his point of view. And one of the things that I think is going to happen is it's going to be very similar to Poppy and Castile, where they're going to be heartmates. I feel like they're going to be heartmates, and they're going to visit each other in dreams. They may not realize it at first, but I feel like they are, and that is going to be beautiful. So those are like the things I think are going to happen, like just an overview of things are going to happen. I also think we're going to definitely see him defeated. We're going to see Colas defeated, not killed, and there will probably be a reason explaining why they couldn't kill him. We know Callum, I know he's going to escape because he is in Blood and Ash. He's definitely going to escape. So we have that. Now, the question that I think could be happening, the thing that could be happening is, we did see Callum. We found out that Callum is the one that revealed to the queen, not Ezra, because Ezra is now queen, but like the Sarah's mom, the fact that a Shadowstone dagger could kill a primal, and all about the weakness of like the fact that love would be his weakness, and all that stuff. We find out that Callum is the one that reveals it at the end. And we also see them talking to we also see him talking to the queen as well, I think, in the first book. There's like a scene where we see him talking in the Shadow and the Ember. So the question is, are they working together somehow? Is she, I mean, she is
she is evil, I think, in the books, definitely. I consider her evil based on the way that she acted toward Sarah. But is she really a villain? Like, is she really on Colus's side planning the world's demise? Or is she being manipulated by Callum? I think both are likely options, but I do know that Callum definitely escapes because he does work with, what is her name? Oh, Isbeth in Blood and Ash, in the Blood and Ash series, in order to wake up Colus. So there will definitely be an explanation as to what's happening there. I cannot wait. I really think this is what's gonna happen, but I'm not sure. Honestly, you can never be too sure. I am super excited. Once the synopsis is out, I'll be doing a second part to this because I want to talk about it, and it is important. So yeah, that is what we're gonna do. Let me know what your predictions for A Fire in the Flesh are in the comment section. I want to have a conversation about this. And yeah, I'll see you in my next video.
Okay, hello. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I have no update for this one, like I have had for others here and there. I do know that, of course, this one's going to be an audiobook because I have seen it, like, say, audio information coming soon in the newsletters. But I do not have any other updates. Currently, there is no full synopsis on Goodreads right now, so I don't have a part 2 for this yet, but I'm still checking. I'm waiting for the synopsis to be available, so don't worry, that is going to be a thing. I'm just waiting for the synopsis to be available so that I can like give you a part 2 to a second part to this and discuss predictions again. But for now, though, consider subscribing to my channel if you're interested in my content. Also, let me know in your comments your thoughts, any predictions you may have. Again, Flesh and Fire will be linked in the description, as well as Blood and Ash and a couple of other things. But yeah, consider subscribing to my channel, turning on notifications so you're aware when I release videos, usually about 3 to 4 times a week. So you have a lot of content, usually long form videos for the most part. But again, you'll have a lot of content. That's always a good thing. And if you are interested in my writing, you can check it out. I have a blog linked in the description, which you can follow, definitely. I do book reviews as well as release some creative writing, poems, and creative nonfiction for the most part. I'm trying to release them once a month, or you can pre-order my book, Daughter of Death, the first volume in the Child of Death series, fantasy series that follows Vivian, who after 8 years has finally been discovered by the mortal realm. She is a half-deity, the daughter of a ruler of the dead and a mortal woman. So after she is discovered, she and her unusual family now has to adjust to this new change. So if you are interested in that concept and are interested in buying my book, you can find it on Apple, Barnes & Noble, and Kobo. You cannot currently... Oh, and Smashwords. Oh, I keep forgetting. No, why did I forget about Smashwords this time? And Smashwords. You cannot currently find it on Amazon because it is not available there. Smashwords, the place where I published it from, currently doesn't have distribution there, but should hopefully do it soon. They were acquired by Draft Digital, so once... their acquisition stuff is a little bit slow. It's going behind the scenes a little bit slower. So when soon they'll have access to Amazon, and my book will hopefully soon be there. But we'll have to be patient. Also, if you are interested in reading my work early, I am currently running a pre-sale only available on Smashwords, where people can buy the book and get it early, and the pre-sale will be available until December 26, 2023, which is the book's release date. So if you want to do that, you can find that. You can put it there. And all these, you can purchase it there. On all these retailers that I have mentioned, my book is available for 99 cents. So yeah, feel free to buy it if you are interested. Also, if you participate in the pre-sale and have the option and time, please consider writing a review of my book. Reviews are very helpful to authors. So yeah, thank you so much for watching and considering buying/reviewing my book. I really appreciate it. And with that, until next time, consume stories. Bye!